From Don Riggs Hurricane Gym on the campus of the Academies at Jonesboro High School, it is quarterfinal action in the 2018 Class 5A State Volleyball Tournament. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first of our 4 quarterfinals here today. Brad Bobo with you for the opener, which is the host team, the Jonesboro Golden Hurricane, with a record of 29-3 overall, taking on the Greenbrier Panthers, who come in now with a record of 26-5-1. These two teams will try to punch the first ticket into tomorrow's Final Four. As we welcome you along on Tubetown, Facebook Live from Tubetown by Ritter Communications, also 95.3 The Ticket and AM 970 KNEA in Northeast Arkansas. There's a look at the bracket. This winner trying to move on to the 1 o'clock semi tomorrow. We'll take on the winner of our next match coming up at 3, Mountain Home versus Siloam Springs. Jonesboro punched its ticket yesterday in convincing fashion, sweeping Sheridan out of the opening round. In fact, the Golden Hurricane only allowed 19 points in the entire match yesterday. Greenbrier made straight set work of Jacksonville as well to get into this quarterfinal. With Jonesboro, the host team in this event, going after its 13th state championship. Right now, Jonesboro and nearby Valley View are tied with 12 state titles, the most of any programs in Arkansas high school volleyball history. JHS, the top seed out of the East. Greenbrier, the second seed from the West, and JHS will serve to start out the match. This is the libero, Kate Geschwind, to get us underway. Received cleanly by Greenbrier. There's a dig on the back row for Clara Parker. Now here's Cameron Hafner off the block and down in the middle of the Greenbrier defense for an opening kill. And JHS strikes first. Geschwind started this match yesterday with 7 straight service points. So we've got Jonesboro on the board here first this afternoon. Now Greenbrier goes the opposite way, but it's dug up by Bailey Tagupa. Here's Gabby Thrower off the block. Now Lear sets up Parker, and it's going to be 4 contacts. Olivia Parker's kill try went off the top of the net, and it's 2-0 JHS. Geschwind lobs the next one over a little bit short. Greenbrier, a little bit of a scramble, got out of system there on that serve receive. Now a try for Jonesboro, and Michaela Johnson had sent it wide, but it's a net violation by Greenbrier. So Jonesboro gets a break there because Michaela Johnson had sent that one well out of bounds deep, but Greenbrier in the net, and now it's a 3-0 Golden Hurricane lead. Another short serve, mishandled by Greenbrier, and the Panthers will not get this one back. So it's an ace for Geschwind, and Jonesboro has the first 4. She has gone short on the last couple of serves. Greenbrier had left the middle open and had trouble handling them. And there's a big-time kill on the left side for Olivia Parker, and a side out gets the serve over to Greenbrier for the first time. 4-1 Jonesboro with the lead. Kendall Johnston to serve. It's a bullet handled by Geschwind to Bailey Tagupa. Far side for Michaela Johnson, who gets blocked by Grace House. Johnson had a huge day yesterday, and House sent that one back with authority on the block. It's 4-2. Here's Johnson again, this time in the middle, and Greenbrier won't handle this one as Kellen Church had the dig, but it's out of bounds. Side out to Jonesboro, leading 5-2, as now we see Kellen Church on the service for JHS. Handled cleanly by Greenbrier, but they'll have to send a free ball over. And then really got a lucky break there. It goes down as a kill for Kinley Mobley. But it was going to be a free ball. It hit the top of the net and rolled over out of the reach of all the Jonesboro players. It's 5-3 Golden Hurricane. Clara Parker into a block. Jonesboro keeps it alive. Hafner touched it over the block, but dug up by Taylor Abernathy. by Kendall Johnston. This time Cameron Hafner on the far side is into the block of Greenbrier and down for a Jonesboro kill. And the Golden Hurricane leads 6-3. This is Cameron Hafner on the service. Handled cleanly by the Panthers. But the kill attempt for Kinley Mobley is short, and it's 7-3 Jonesboro. Hafner, the 5'10 senior, from right in the middle of the court, serves it right down the middle, handled by Lear. And there's another JHS block, but what a dive and dig to keep it alive by Olivia Parker. But then there's a Greenbrier net violation, second of the afternoon already. But what a dive and dig that was right there by Olivia Parker, only to see it wiped out on the net violation. It's 8-3 JHS. And there's a big kill in the middle for Bray Denton to get a side out, and the serve back over to Greenbrier, trailing 8-4. As we see Haley Moss into the lineup for the Panthers. Cassidy Lear with the service. Here's Bailey Tagupa. Outside for Clara Parker, who puts it down the sideline for a kill. Quickly side out right back to Jonesboro. Michaela Johnson to serve for the Golden Hurricane. Flat-footed, sent it down the line. Lear mishandled it a little bit, but now Jonesboro called in the net. And it'll be a point over to Greenbrier as we see Geschwind check in for Michaela Johnson. 9-5 JHS with the lead. Greenbrier will send Zoe Lee into the lineup and back to the service line. Lee with a low bullet that just cleared the net. Jonesboro won't be able to do a whole lot with it, but the Golden Hurricane does get it back. Now here's Greenbrier with a try. And another a net violation charged to Greenbrier. That one called on Kellen Church, who was all the way beyond the stanchion there. And Jonesboro gets it leading 10-5 as we see Gabby Thrower back in for JHS. And Bailey Tagupa, who in the first set yesterday went over 1,000 assists for the season, is on the service this time. And there's a side out as it's touched out of bounds by Jonesboro. Haley Moss gets the kill, and this is Kinley Mobley to serve. Handled by Geschwind. Tagupa will bump it for Clara Parker, who somehow found some real estate in the middle of the Greenbrier defense. That's down for a kill. And a side out to make it 11-6 Golden Hurricane. Parker went back to serve. Here's a chance for the Golden Hurricane. Tagupa in the middle, and that shot for Bree Moore was into the net. And it'll go back to the Panthers, trailing 11-7. As Mackenzie Shannon is into the lineup. Jump serve on the run for Shannon. It was a top spin sinker that Jonesboro handles. Hafner will send it to the back row of Greenbrier. Panthers with a chance into a block, dug up but out of bounds, and it'll be a point for JHS. As they had Thrower over there with Bree Moore for the block, and JHS will serve with a 12-7 lead. Back to Kate Geschwind. Here's Tagupa at the net for Michaela Johnson, who put it down to her left beyond a defender and inside the sideline. The middle set is clean for Jonesboro, and it's a 13-7 lead. Geschwind serve. Received cleanly. And that one is off the block, but the Jonesboro block is out of bounds, and it'll be a side out over to Greenbrier with the Panthers on top 13-8. As we'll see Kendall Johnston back to serve. Clara Parker handles the serve. Tagupa comes running in to pass the head for Hafner, and her kill is inside the baseline. Greenbrier sort of watched it go where no one was standing for a quick side out, and Jonesboro back on top 14-8. And on the service will be Kellen Church for JHS. That serve was diving, and now we got a double contact violation called against Greenbrier, and the Panthers are going to grab a timeout. We'll keep it here during the break with Jonesboro leading set number 1 by the count of 15-8. There you get a look at today's matchups, all available here on Facebook Live from Tubetown. Mountain Home Siloam Springs coming up next. Russellville versus Nettleton coming up at 5 o'clock. And then you've got Greenwood Paragould, a main event for sure, coming up at 7. Along with this Jonesboro match, the Nettleton, Russellville, and Paragould Greenwood matches at 5 and 7 tonight will also be heard on 95.3 The Ticket and AM 970 KNEA. A lot of people here are already talking about that 7 o'clock match tonight. Greenwood, the defending 6A champions, taking on a Paragould team that is certainly among the favorites here this week also. That's a Final Four, even a championship match, quality matchup we'll see at 7 o'clock tonight. Out of the timeout. Serve handled down the left sideline. Now Greenbrier cross-court kill is down for Bray Denton, and it's a side out. Back to Greenbrier, trailing 15-9. This is Olivia Parker on the serve, and it's going to be an ace as Jonesboro didn't receive it cleanly, and it's now a 15-10 advantage with Parker continuing to serve. The advantage for Jonesboro. Here's Tagupa in the middle for Michaela Johnson, off the block and then dug up by Parker. They send it over early. Now Tagupa will go outside for Hafner. She just sort of punches it over the block. Now Lear passes across the court, and it's killed by Kinley Mobley. Mobley gets the kill, and it's 15-11. Greenbrier sneaking back into this opening set. Tagupa bumps it over to Hafner about the 10-foot line. She hits it back. Now Denton crossed the court and down. There's Bray Denton with a big kill in the middle of two Jonesboro defenders. And all of a sudden the Jonesboro lead down to 3 at 15-12. Craig Cummings, Jonesboro's head coach, calmly just applauds his team and as they're prodded along for a side out. Michaela Johnson gets one as she went up and then just dinked it over. In fact, just went away from the block and hit it to her right, just touched it over, and it deflected off a couple of Greenbrier defenders and down for a side out. 16-12 Jonesboro. Free ball coming for the Golden Hurricane. Tagupa behind her for Johnson, who puts it down the middle. Michaela Johnson, a big kill to push the Golden Hurricane lead back to 5 at 17-12. Cameron Hafner back to serve again. And this one's going to be mishandled, but Lear chases it down. Free ball coming for Jonesboro. Here's Bailey Tagupa. Far side for Clara Parker, who puts it off a defender and down for a kill. 18-12, 3 straight points for JHS after Greenbrier had closed within 3. Hafner brings another one over. This one's shorter, but handled cleanly. And there's a big kill for number 16. They say it's Grace House, with the kill. She puts it down cross court for a side out. It's 18-13. Tagupa at the net. Out for Clara Parker, who puts it down in front of Olivia Parker. That was Parker on Parker, and Clara won that battle. And now Michaela Johnson will serve off the side out. 19-13 Jonesboro. Lear handles the serve, and then they did not handle the pass as it's a double contact called against Kendall Johnston, and Jonesboro's the first to 20 here in set number 1. And now Greenbrier will grab another timeout with Jonesboro on top 20-13. The schools participating in this state tournament match are members of the Arkansas Activities Association as authorized by their school boards. The administrators of these schools have helped to write the rules and regulations that govern participation of students in competitive activities for the schools that are members of the AAA. 20-13, Jonesboro with the lead. And Greenbrier takes its second timeout here in the first set. They had climbed back within 15-12. But Jonesboro has scored 5 of the last 6 points since then. And the lead is 7 as JHS tries to close in on an opening set win. Michaela Johnson, serve is a knuckleball handled by Lear. Now outside the 10-foot line, it's just sent back over by Bray Denton. Here's Clara Parker off the net, and it rolls across and down for a kill, and JHS up now 21-13. Johnson just outside the basketball free throw lane, flat-footed. This one floats in the middle. Lear handles it. Now they set it in the middle for Haley Moss, and she's blocked by JHS. The Golden Hurricane block gets there to make it 22-13. As there you see, it was Bailey Tagupa in there with Bree Moore who gets credit for the block. This one is long, touched over but out of bounds off the hands of Kinley Mobley, and now it's 23-13. All of a sudden, the Jonesboro lead is up to 10, and they're 2 points away from the opening set. There's a block that's kept alive, and actually, Bree Moore was in on the block, and then in the last minute sort of reached out to try to touch it. Had she not, Bailey Tagupa was there to handle it cleanly. Instead, it's a side out, and it goes over to Greenbrier, trailing 23-14. Here's Tagupa in the middle for Moore. Off the block, kept alive by the Panthers. Now they go far side, and it's off the block and down. Give the kill to Shelby Coates. And it's 23-15. Zoe Lee on the service for Greenbrier. Handled by Hafner. Now Tagupa out for Clara Parker, who slams it down. Boy, Parker has had a big first set. She has had some big kills, and there's one there, and it brings up set point with Bailey Tagupa on the serve. She gets the go-ahead by a whistle. Now here's her serve, handled cleanly by Greenbrier. Zoe Lee with the set, and the Panthers won't get it back, and that will do it for set number 1 with JHS taking it by the count of 25-15. So Jonesboro, it was competitive in the middle stages of the set. Big push by JHS in the end, and it's 1-0 Golden Hurricane. We'll be back with the second set after this 2-minute timeout.
Welcome to New Door, an agency revolutionizing real estate, where when the best in the real estate sales industry and the best in real estate education join forces, you get one of the most dynamic and educated real estate companies in Arkansas. Here at New Door, we endeavor to find the best homes for your needs. Real estate isn't something we do, it's who we are and what we live. We are New Door, and we are ready to welcome you home. Contact J.C. Cox at 870-761-1798.
It begins with a click. And no matter where you are, you have countless choices at your fingertips. On the road, on your break, even in your own backyard. A world of entertainment is just a click away. Simply go to RitterCommunications.com/TV Everywhere to get started. Ritter Communications, connecting you to everything that matters.
911, what's your emergency? I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
Brad Bobo back with you in Jonesboro. The Golden Hurricane takes set one, 25-15. JHS got 10 of the final 13 points in that set after a push in the middle by Greenbrier closed the gap within 3. Jonesboro had the answer to take the opening set. So we'll see if Greenbrier can mount a comeback here. The Panthers were 7-2 in road games, and I know officially state tournament matches are neutral court, but who are we kidding? When you're playing the host, you're not on a neutral court. It's a road game, and the Panthers went 7-2 in those matches this year. Jonesboro 11-0 on its home floor, counting the win yesterday. The Gabby Thrower attempt was wide out of bounds as Greenbrier opens with the service and the set's first point. Here's Tagupa in the middle for Michaela Johnson, off the block and out of bounds for a side out to even it up at 1. And we see Kellen Church into the lineup to serve for Jonesboro. And she gets an ace as Greenbrier watched it, hoping it would sail out of bounds, and it lands just inside the baseline. A little miscommunication there by the Panthers, and then they were hoping that would go about a foot further than it went. This one down the sideline, handled by Greenbrier. Middle block is up for Michaela Johnson, and she sends back the attempt of Grace House for a 3-1 Jonesboro advantage. Now Church continues to serve. You see Johnson there with the block with the right hand. Short serve handled by Lear. There's another block, but this one kept alive by Greenbrier. They'll send the ball over for Geschwind, whose pass went right at the net. Battle at the net. Michaela Johnson touches it over, but she's going to be called for a lift. And it'll be a side out to Greenbrier, serving down 3-2. It'll be Olivia Parker on the service. And again, for the second time, we see Geschwind serve receive went all the way over, and that one is put down in the middle to tie it at 3. So serve receive, a little issue there for Jonesboro. Michaela Johnson, though, gets the kill in the middle for a quick side out to put the Golden Hurricane back up by 1. Now Cameron Hafner will handle the service. Hafner serves it to the back row. Greenbrier handles it now on the right side. This was Grace House who gets dug up, but Greenbrier is able to send it back, and it gets out of the reach of Jonesboro on the scramble right at the net, and we're tied at 4 on the side out. This is Cassidy Lear on the serve. Jump serve handled by Kellen Church. Now at the 10-foot line, Michaela Johnson is able to get it over. Greenbrier keeps it alive, and the free ball nearly scored. It's touched over by Bailey Tagupa to keep the point alive. Michaela Johnson punches it up in the air. Jonesboro will get a try. Hafner at the 10-foot line blocked, and then it's a double contact called against Michaela Johnson, and she batted twice in a row. And it's a 5-4 Greenbrier lead. And a service error by Lear ties it at 5 and gives Jonesboro a side out. Michaela Johnson now to serve. Handled in the middle by Lear. Now on the outside, there's a block by Bree Moore. Clara Parker was over there on the left block with her as they send that one back from Bray Denton. And Jonesboro's up now 6-5. Again, Lear handles the Michaela Johnson served. They go opposite side, and again Jonesboro was there for the block, and Greenbrier won't get it back. So it was Tagupa and Bree Moore this time. Set up on the opposite block from the point before. Same result, and it's a 7-5 JHS lead. The pass was off the mark. Greenbrier sends it over. And now Jonesboro sort of batting it around at the net and knocked it out of bounds. So a side out will give it to Greenbrier, trailing 7-6. And Zoe Lee will be back to serve. And it hit a Cameron Hafner. Jonesboro was going to let that sail out of bounds, which it was going to do. And Hafner, ducking out of the way of it, had it hit her in the back of the head for an ace. And we're tied at 7. Here's Church with a pass over to Tagupa. Now Clara Parker puts it out of the reach of the diving Cassidy Lear for a kill. And Jonesboro back on top by 1, 8-7. Bailey Tagupa will serve it for the Golden Hurricane. Handled by Greenbrier. Now, there's a lobbing kill attempt for Shelby Coates. And then off the block on the far side, Clara Parker puts it down for another kill, and JHS leads at 9-7. Clara Parker has had a big match so far. Tagupa. Float and serve, dive and receive there by Greenbrier. And then they're able to corral it enough for Shelby Coates to put down a hammer for the side out. So very tight second set here with JHS on top 9-8. Kinley Mobley on the service. Tagupa for Bree Moore. Couldn't get much on that one, just sort of touched it over the block. Now Geschwin, pass ahead for Gabby Thrower. Dug up on the back row by Lear. Here's Jonesboro with another try now. Clara Parker off the block and dug up by Greenbrier. They'll go on the far side now. There's Geschwin with a dig. Parker this time down the left sideline and in for a kill. Clara Parker's big day continues as it's 10-8 Jonesboro. And Parker, the 5'10 junior, is back to serve. Her jump serve is mishandled right down the left sideline for an ace, and it's 11-8. Largest lead either team has had here in the second set. Parker again. Same spot this time. Greenbrier able to get it cleanly, but then they basically swing and miss on the kill attempt. An error there for Olivia Parker makes it 12-8 Jonesboro, and Greenbrier wants a timeout to talk things over as it's a run for the Golden Hurricane to open up a 4-point lead here in set number 2. Breaking the action will give us a chance to let you know that coverage of the 5A State Volleyball Tournament on Tubetown is being brought to you by SSR Insulation, surrounding you in comfort, and by real estate agent J.C. Cox of New Door Real Estate Brokerage. Our coverage on 95.3 The Ticket, and AM 970 KNEA being brought to you this week exclusively by First National Bank. 12-8, Jonesboro with the lead. As Greenbrier grabs a timeout, and probably a good one taken by Wes Davis because his team was going tooth and nail really through the first 15 points or so. But Jonesboro has scored 3 straight to open up a 12-8 lead. As you see on our Tubetown coverage, you got to look at the Dog Pound, the Jonesboro student section, who's on hand today watching their Golden Hurricane. And it's going to be another ace for Parker, as again that was a sinking serve that nearly hit the ground in front of Mobley. She was able to just get underneath it, but then Greenbrier couldn't do anything with it. It's 13-8. This time they do handle the serve cleanly, and as soon as you say that, the pass is a double contact. And it's 14-8. So this Jonesboro momentum has certainly, or the momentum has swung back to Jonesboro for sure. And there's a side out by Olivia Parker off the block of Gabby Thrower and out of bounds. The Panthers needed that one. And they'll get the service back, trailing 14-9 as we see Mackenzie Shannon back to do the honors. Senior for the Panthers. Her jump serve handled by Geschwind. Over to Tagupa. She'll set it behind her for Bree Moore, whose shot sails wide beyond the baseline, or deep, out of bounds, and it's 14-10. Shannon again serves it to Geschwind. Jonesboro out of system there. Had two players collide on the pass. Here's a chance for the Panthers. In the middle. It's a kill for Grace House. She didn't get all of it, but she got enough to get it off the block and down for a kill. But now the officials are going to confer. Let's see what they might be looking at. Or what the conversation is. Now they're going to go from that conference and have a talk with Wes Davis. And he relayed some message to his bench. So whatever it is, we're back to play. But then Greenbrier promptly serves it out of bounds. So a service error gives it to Jonesboro with the lead at 15-11. And Kate Geschwind will be back to serve. And so here's the deal. Whatever she said to the Greenbrier bench, Wes Davis is saying, well, go tell them the same thing. So she's giving the same message to the Jonesboro bench. And whatever it is, we're back to volleyball with a 4-point Jonesboro lead. And there's a block by Michaela Johnson as Olivia Parker was sort of falling away from that one, and Johnson sent it back with ease to put JHS up by 5, 16-11. Actually, it was Gabby Thrower who got the block. Johnson was there with her, but Thrower with the block. And there they are again, that duo of Thrower and Johnson. That one with some authority, and back-to-back blocks have put JHS up 17-11. As Geschwind will continue to serve. Lear handles the serve. And this one's off the block of Thrower and down for a kill by Grace House off this assist from Zoe Lee. Greenbrier gets a side out, trailing 17-12, as we'll see Kendall Johnston over to serve. Geschwind handles it up to Tagupa. She'll set Michaela Johnson in the middle, who puts it down with authority, and JHS now on top 18-12. Johnson right between the block. Too big a gap there for Greenbrier, and once it was through the block, there was nothing behind them. The serve mishandled that time by Mobley, and it's an ace for Jonesboro, and the Golden Hurricane now up 19-12. As Kellen Church will continue to serve. Here's Parker wide of the left sideline going cross court. It's out of bounds. And Jonesboro gets to 21st. And now the second timeout called by Wes Davis as he sees what was a very competitive second set perhaps begin to slip away as his team trails it now 20-12. Again, this was a 9-8 set at one point. In fact, Greenbrier opened up with the lead, but since it's 9-8 Jonesboro, the Golden Hurricane has scored 11 of the last 15 points. So you can look at part of the crowd on hand here for this quarterfinal matchup. Three of the four matches today featuring Northeast Arkansas teams. The lone exception is the 3 o'clock match, which will feature Mountain Home, part of the 5A East. The 4 seed from that league won a thriller last night over Hot Springs Lakeside. Mountain Home went in the 5th set 18-16. Of course, we'll see Nettleton at 5 o'clock today. And Lady Raiders won what was probably the best match in the state yesterday over at Annie Camp Junior High against Benton. Out of the timeout, there's a cross-court kill put down by Bray Denton. And Greenbrier will serve down 20-13 as we see Olivia Parker back to the service line. Here's Michaela Johnson on the left side. It's off the block, but out of bounds for a side out as Jonesboro will serve, leading 21-13. Cameron Hafner will jog back to serve for Craig Cummings' team. Top spin serve handled by Lear. Now Mobley is blocked by Michaela Johnson one-on-one. Kinley Mobley took it at Johnson, who sent it back, and it's 22-13 Jonesboro. Again, Lear handles the serve from Hafner. And there's a mishit by Grace House. And it's a Jonesboro point now in a 23-13 lead. Hafner trying to get JHS to set point. Dive and serve barely handled. Greenbrier hits it into the block, and now Johnson sends it over and out of the reach. It was touched by Greenbrier, but Lear couldn't chase it down, and it is set point for JHS, leading 24-13. Golden Hurricane a point away from a 2-0 lead. Hafner's serve, handled by Parker. There was a block by Jonesboro, and then Parker sent it straight into the air. Here's Parker to finish it off, and it's wide. Out of bounds on the cross-court shot, and it'll be a side out over to Greenbrier. Serving down now 24-14. A lot of pressure on Casty Lear here to go on a run. Church handled the serve. Here's Parker at the net, and in fact the pass was basically over the net, and Greenbrier sends it back for a kill. It's 24-15. Panthers have matched their offensive output from the first set. Here's Tagupa for Parker, and that's the second straight 25-15 win for Jonesboro as Clara Parker with a kill to close out set number 2. And the Golden Hurricane finds itself now one set away from a trip to the Class 5A semifinals. We'll have the third set for you after this 2-minute timeout. This is coverage of the 2018 5A state tournament on Tubetown and 95.3 The Ticket.
Welcome to New Door, an agency revolutionizing real estate, where when the best in the real estate sales industry and the best in real estate education join forces, you get one of the most dynamic and educated real estate companies in Arkansas. Here at New Door, we endeavor to find the best homes for your needs. Real estate isn't something we do, it's who we are and what we live. We are New Door, and we are ready to welcome you home. Contact J.C. Cox at 870-761-1798.
Satellite TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract, then saddle you with second-rate service and price increases. Ritter delivers TV service with stunning HD channels, plus bundle savings on the area's fastest internet, and a better home phone service with no long-term contracts, backed by our local customer care team. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a dish. Visit RitterCommunications.com to learn more.
With so many great mega services available from Ritter Communications, it's hard to pick just one. Save a bundle with bundled services. Talk as much as you want, when you want, with unlimited long distance. Get the speed you need with up to 15, 30, 50, and even 100 megabits per second internet. Enjoy online bill pay and protect all your online data and devices with Tech Home and Guardrail. With so many choices, options, and savings from Ritter, all you can say is, wow! Mega services, mega savings. That's Mega Ritter.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit RitterBusiness.com today.
Back-to-back 25-15 wins for Jonesboro, and the Golden Hurricane with a 2-0 lead over Greenbrier here in the Class 5A quarterfinals. So JHS back to serve first. It is Kate Geschwin. Their junior libero will go back and get us underway here in the third set at Don Riggs Hurricane Gym. Lear handles it. Now they set it in the middle. They blocked. Jonesboro blocked Grace House, who was able to send it back over, but her return sails out of bounds, and JHS with the set's opening point. And Greenbrier's in trouble here, and they won't get the serve back as they kind of got crossed up, had a couple players run into each other, and by the time that happened, there was nobody left to get to the ball. It hits the floor after two contacts, and it's 2-0 JHS. And there's a net violation called against Jonesboro. It's charged to Michaela Johnson. It'll be a side out for Greenbrier, which will serve trailing 2-1. Here's Kendall Johnston on the serve. Handled by Geschwin. Here's Bailey Tagupa with a bump behind her for Bree Moore. Handled by Lear. Now Greenbrier with a chance, and it's off the block and down for Olivia Parker. And we're tied at 2. Johnston to serve it, trying to give Greenbrier its first lead in the third set. Tagupa out to Johnson, dug up nicely by Olivia Parker. And off the block again, Parker finishes it for Greenbrier to give the Panthers a 3-2 lead. So 3 straight points for Greenbrier after the first 2 scored by Jonesboro. Tagupa in the middle for Johnson. She's blocked, kept alive by JHS. Cameron Hafner sends a free ball over. And there's a kill down on the far side for Bray Denton. And that's 4 consecutive Greenbrier points. The Panthers come out with a little push here in the third set. Jonesboro mishandled the serve, but able to corral it for Parker to attack from the back row. Denton switched hands, diving, saved there by Clara Parker. Now here come the Panthers, sending a free ball over. Everybody's a little bit out of rotation here. Sent back early by Tagupa, and then Johnson sent it right back. Her 3 consecutive contacts came over the net. Tagupa sent it over early. Greenbrier punched it back, and then Michaela Johnson just sort of shoved it over the top of the defense and down for a kill. Just off the fist of Cassidy Lear. 4-3 Greenbrier. JHS had the serve. And Jonesboro won't get it back over after a kill by the Panthers. It's 5-3 Greenbrier, and we'll see Olivia Parker back to serve. Handled by Kellen Church. Again, Tagupa sends it over. It comes back, and then Cameron Hafner finishes it off. So the second time in real short order. See 3 consecutive contacts go over the net, and the last one with some authority by Cameron Hafner, who's back to serve. Her team trailing 5-4. And there's a big kill for Bray Denton. And another side out. Jonesboro unable to score on its service. It's 6-4 Greenbrier, and Cassidy Lear will go back to serve. And it's a service error into the net. 6-5. Here comes JHS. As we see Bree Moore check in for Jonesboro. Michaela Johnson back to serve. Lear handles it. Kendall Johnston with the set, but there's a block. Bree Moore and Clara Parker were set up for the block, and Jonesboro has tied set 3 at 6 apiece. And there's an ace for Johnson as it's mishandled on the sideline by Bray Denton. And now Jonesboro back on top. JHS led it 2-0 in a big run for Greenbrier, but now the Golden Hurricane back on top. And there's an ace just inside the left sideline. Greenbrier let it fall, hoping it'd be out of bounds, and it was not. Now 8-6 Jonesboro. Lear handles the serve receive. Now Michaela Johnson's got to send a free ball over from over her head. There's a dig by Johnson, but it goes over the net. Chance for Greenbrier. They didn't do much with it. Now Jonesboro has a chance. Tagupa, far side for Clara Parker. Didn't get it cleanly, but got enough of it as she sent it toward the back row. Cassidy Lear trying to run toward the corner. Couldn't get it corralled, and Greenbrier now grabs a timeout as Jonesboro's opened a 9-6 lead. So Wes Davis has done a nice job of using his timeouts at times where his team needs to try to stop the momentum, but it hasn't worked much yet. I'll let you know the Arkansas Activities Association is one of 50 state organizations that belong to the National Federation of State High School Associations. This association formulates policies, game rules, and standards for inter-school competition. The schools of Arkansas have adopted these rules on eligibility, which correspond to those recommended by the National Federation. 9-6 Jonesboro. As we play here after the opening stages of set number 3, JHS with a 2-0 lead here over Greenbrier in the first of our 4 5A quarterfinals. Michaela Johnson serves it. Greenbrier didn't handle it cleanly, had to send a free ball back. Now here's Bree Moore off. Actually, she'll get credit for the kill. It was off the block and then rolled along the top of the net and landed out of bounds. Michaela Johnson to serve up 10-6. Another, well, it's not even going to be a free ball. Greenbrier mishandled the free ball, or sending the free ball over. So, discombobulation there for the Panthers. Now, Johnson goes short on that serve. Lear handles it. It's blocked by Jonesboro, but Greenbrier keeps it. And then into the net for Bray Denton, and it's another JHS point. So, once again, we saw, just like in the second set, Greenbrier opened with the momentum, but here in the middle stages, Jonesboro has wrestled it back, and now it's 12-6 JHS. Here's Denton, blocked, and she punches it right back over. Tagupa for Johnson. Now Clara Parker cross court. Nice dig by Olivia Parker. Mobley sends it down the sideline. Church keeps it alive. Here's Michaela Johnson at the 10-foot line, dug up by Lear. Free ball coming for Jonesboro. Tagupa for Clara Parker off the block and down. Craig Cummings with both fists in the air as his team wins a long rally there, and Jonesboro leads it 13-6. And Michaela Johnson's long service run continues. And there's an ace as that sunk in front of Olivia Parker. And it's now a 14-6 Jonesboro lead. Lear handles the serve. Now here's Mobley off the block, and it'll go out of bounds. So a big side out on a kill for Kinley Mobley, and it will go over to Greenbrier with the Jonesboro lead now at 14-7. And we'll see Zoe Lee back in to serve for the Panthers. And she served it under the net. Just missed it. And ended up not hitting the net. And it'll go back to Jonesboro now, leading 15-7. You don't see that one very often. Clearly, the young lady just missed it there. There's another block by Gabby Thrower on the right side for the JHS defense, and the Golden Hurricane now on top 16-7. Here's Bailey Tagupa, handled by Cassidy Lear, and the double contact called against Zoe Lee, and Wes Davis has seen enough. He's going to grab another 30-second timeout with Jonesboro now 8 points away from the match, leading 17-7. May give us an opportunity to take another look at the rest of the day's schedule or the bracket, whichever one they want to send us a look at here. As you see our schedule the rest of the day, Mountain Home, Siloam Springs coming up next. That's the 4th seed from the east, taking on the 3rd seed from the west. Russellville versus Nettleton coming up at 5. Russellville knocked off Central champ Maumelle yesterday. Nettleton in 5 sets over Benton. to get into that quarterfinal. And then the big one at 7 o'clock tonight, Greenwood versus Paragould. Again, all 4 matches available via Facebook on the Tubetown online page, facebook.com/Tubetown online. And then the Nettleton and Paragould matches also carried tonight on 95.3 The Ticket at AM 970 KNEA in Northeast Arkansas. Tagupa on the serve. And there's a kill for Greenbrier as Kinley Mobley hit it just across, but sort of down the net. Now the reach of the JHS defense. And it's 17-8 with Mobley on the serve, and she slams it into the net. So back-to-back service errors for Greenbrier. And let's get the sense the Panthers know that they're running out of points. It's 18-8 Jonesboro. Neither of their last couple of serves have been close to going over. Here's Olivia Parker off the block. She punches it back up, though. Another chance for Greenbrier, dug up by Tagupa. Here's Geschwin for Cameron Hafner. Just hit it over the block. Lear's able to dig it up. Now the Panthers will have to send over a free ball. Jonesboro with a chance. Tagupa behind her for Gabby Thrower. Dug up down the sideline by Parker. Nice play. Or actually, that was not Parker with that dig. It was Kinley Mobley with the nice dig. Parker gets the kill, and it goes back to Greenbrier, trailing 18-9. Mackenzie Shannon will handle the serve for Greenbrier. Jump serve, top spin, handled by Cameron Hafner, who then goes cross court, wide out of bounds on the kill attempt. And it's 18-10. Jonesboro won the first 2 sets by scores of 25-15. This time Shannon's serve sails just wide of the baseline. Side out to Jonesboro with a 19-10 lead. And Kate Geschwin back to serve. Lear handles the serve. Zoe Lee with the assist off the Jonesboro block. Golden Hurricane with a chance. Clara Parker from the 10-foot line gets it inside the baseline. It's been that kind of day for Clara Parker. Everything she hits seems to find the court. Inbounds. And Jonesboro, once again, the first to 20. Off the serve. There's a block, but Lear's able to keep it alive for Greenbrier. Here's Tagupa with a dig. Thrower for Parker into a block. Actually, they'll call that, blocking down for Greenbrier. And it's 20-11. So we see Bray Denton into the lineup. Kendall Johnston will check in and go back to serve for Greenbrier. Hafner received the serve. Tagupa for Michaela Johnson. Dug up by Greenbrier. There's a block kept alive by Mobley. Now Denton will sail it out of bounds beyond the baseline. Ray Denton too much on that one. It's 21-11, and Kellen Church will serve for Jonesboro. Greenbrier sends it over and gets a break there as Greenbrier wasn't able to do much with it. Bray Denton will get the kill because her shot, she was just trying to punch over, hit the top of the net and rolled over for a side out. It's 21-12. Michaela Johnson gets blocked, and Jonesboro can't fish it out of the net. Tried twice to get it out of the net, and it went right back in again. So it's 21-13 for JHS, but Greenbrier serving with Olivia Parker back there after a point on her serve. Tagupa for Hafner. She hammers that one down. Cameron Hafner got what might have been her cleanest kill of the match there, and it's 22-13 as Hafner will go back to serve. Lear handles the serve. Now at the net, there's a kill for Bray Denton off the block, and it goes down on the JHS side of the net. It's 22-14. And Cassidy Lear will serve for Greenbrier as Haley Moss checks into the lineup on the front row. Here's Tagupa. for Clara Parker, off the block and down again. Another Clara Parker kill and a side out. Jonesboro now 2 points from the match. And Michaela Johnson is back to serve. Handled by the Panthers. And it's blocked by Thrower. Greenbrier gets it back, and then Thrower hits it again. Bree Moore, who ends up with that kill, and it brings up match point for Jonesboro, and the home crowd comes to its feet. Johnson serve. Put up by Greenbrier. There's a block, and it's down for JHS. Moore and Clara Parker are there for the final point of the afternoon as Jonesboro closes out the third set 25-14 and finishes the match 3-0. So you look at the bracket now for this 5A championship. Jonesboro, the first team in the Final Four. They'll take on the winner of the next match. It's Mountain Home Siloam Springs coming up at 3 o'clock. The winner will take on the host team tomorrow at 1. You'll see that match on Tubetown's Facebook page. You'll also hear that match on 95.3 The Ticket. Jonesboro with the win goes to 30-3 on the year. Greenbrier sees its season come to a close with a record of 26-6-1. So again, if you're watching on Tubetown Online's Facebook page, Ronnie and I will be with you at 3 o'clock for the call of Mountain Home Siloam Springs. I'll join you at 5 for Russellville Nettleton and at 7 for Greenwood Paragould. Both of those matches also available on 95.3 The Ticket. So for our great crew here at Don Riggs Hurricane Gym, I'm Brad Bobo saying so long. Thanks for joining us for Class 5A State Volleyball Tournament action.